Graduation. Isn't that an exciting word? And just because I don't know anybody that's graduating doesn't mean that I don't feel excited about making some graduation centerpieces. I'm going to do two different choices today. My first one will involve getting this jar. All of this will be from Dollar Tree. This glass jar, and it does have the chalk area on the front. I've decided to write "Way to Go," but I'm going to give you a lot of other suggestions for that. This hat, graduation hat, and stuff some styrofoam in the top of it, or I'm sorry, in the bottom of it. This 2021 graduation card. Some shish kebab sticks painted white. This little mirror. I did see them in silver and gold, round and square. The graduation stars in gold and black for this particular one. I think the other one I'm going to use gold and silver. And then this package of graduation photo props. And then I might throw in some starlights. I'm not sure yet. No matter how organized I am, I always seem to leave something out. So before we get too far into this tutorial, I wanted to tell you that one of the items we'll be using is a gold balloon holder, glue gun, E6000, some scissors, and a glue stick. So the first thing we're going to do is, on this mirror, these little rubber stoppers, they were more in the middle, so I peeled them off and moved them towards the outside. The reason for that is this is going to be almost like a cap on top of here. And if you see, by moving those little rubber stoppers out, it stops this from wiggling off because I want to use this like a lid. And you can kind of see the edges of them since I moved them out to the edge. So I'm just going to take some scissors and cut that in a little bit closer so they don't hang off the edge, but they'll still have the circumference to hold on top of this. Now the next step will be is to glue the graduation hat on top of the mirror. The mirror really doesn't serve a purpose except that the gold border fits around the border. It makes a border around the base of the hat, and it also makes a lid for the jar. So I'm going to hot glue and E6000 this, so the hot glue will be strictly just so I can continue working with it, and then I'll show you what the next step is. Now that's glued on, and the hat does have like a hanger on it, so we're not going to need that, so I'm going to cut that off. And out of these photo props, there was 7 of them. So what I'm going to do is I choose to use these 3 in this particular one. When you see the final of both of them, you can decide how you want to do it. But I'm using the glasses and the hat and the one that says "I'm done." And I should have made a second reminder before you glued this on to make sure you had that styrofoam inside there. Now, the card that I bought, I actually have cut it already, but the card that I bought was, that won't show you, was actually a little longer than this, and it had like a leftover piece down here. I cut it off so it was even with the top. This is going to go in the middle on the top, the 2021. And on that, I took one of the shish kebab sticks and I broke them in half, and I'm going to glue these on the back, and then I'm going to stick it in the middle. And then we're going to start working these around as well as some of the stars. So this is where we're at. And next we need to take some shish kebab sticks, and that we're going to use different sizes and alternate the colors on the sticks, maybe 2 stars and 3 stars, and place them around this to start filling in. So this is what I have so far. I added some stars down at the bottom, a long one coming out this side because I have the glasses that's coming way out over there, and some in the back. Now, I think I could probably end right there, but I really wanted to use this balloon holder top. I like this straight, I don't know what it's called, stuff that's in this balloon holder. So I'm going to disassemble this balloon holder, and I'm going to get this gold out of there, away from the stars, and I want to put it in here. And I may add some more stars, but I think that's going to be enough. All right, so I was able to get that off of there with just some wire clippers. It pulled apart from the stars, And I'd like to use this in 2 different places on this. And because I have one, I'm going to split it up into 2. There's a piece of tape on here. That's all you have to do is take the tape off, open it up, and there is it's a fold where it's halfway. So clip that, pull it apart, and now you can wrap this back up and put a little piece of tape on that, and this one. And now we have 2 pieces. So I'm gonna put some tape on it. I am gonna stick a shish kebab stick and some hot glue to hold that. And then I'm gonna place this, maybe one back here and maybe one there. I just thought it was nice to have a little something else included in this to make it as festive as possible. So now, since I have it this far, I really don't think that I need to put any of the stars that were on that balloon holder. I think it's more than enough. I think anything more would make it kind of messy. On this, I mentioned you could put the person's name. You could put the place they graduated from, if they're going on into another school, the school that they're going on to, and just maybe a personal message. If it's from mom and dad, you could sign it mom and dad. But this is the final outcome. Now, the only thing that I have left to do is, since I told you that this was going to be like a lid, I have one thing left to tell you what we're going to put in there. For the next graduation centerpiece, you're going to need an ice bucket, a 2021, this holds a photo in it. I have these thick sheets of styrofoam, so some styrofoam, enough that will fill up this bucket. I'm going to use a silver balloon holder. You might want to use gold, but I'm going to use silver. The remainder of the what were they called? Photo props. The remainder of the photo props. Some silver and black stars. Shish kebab sticks. Wire cutters. Scissors. And the shish kebab stick should be painted white as we did before. And then there's E6000, glue gun, glue stick. But then there's a couple of items that are going to be a possibility. Some black ribbon, I'm not sure. I happen to have it. If you don't, I think you could skip it. This tassel, I'm going to try and use that in there. I like it. I don't know where yet. And these little wood pieces, if you have those, I thought I might attach them to the back of this. Just when I go to put it on the top of everything, that I would have some kind of balance to this, even though I'm planning on putting some shish kebab sticks to hold it in. But if you don't have these, don't worry about it. I don't think you'll really need them. So the first thing that you're gonna do with your ice bucket is cut your styrofoam out. Now, what I did, I've already done it. I took this apart with the wire clippers. I took the paper apart. And we're going to use this paper, so don't get rid of it. But not only are we going to use the paper, but we're going to use the weight that's inside there. The reason I want to use it is because with this bucket and the styrofoam, it's very light. So when you put something on top of that, there's a chance for tipping over. And why not use the weight? We were already going to use these top pieces and throw the weight out. So I think it's a good idea to use the weight in this. And the way that I did that is I cut my first piece of circular styrofoam to go in there, and I cut a hole out of the bottom of it, and I put the weight in it. So now it's not got the styrofoam, but it also has some weight for not tipping over. And then I'll put this on top. Well, not yet. I'm sorry. Before you put this piece in, we're going to wrap this silver around here, and that's just going to cover the base like that. It doesn't really matter that you kind of see it crinkly because you're really not going to see much of it, but at least you're not going to see the styrofoam. And the way I figured out is a good way to attach this. I mean, I did do another tutorial and I just pushed it down in there and it held fine. But another way of doing this is taking some Dollar Tree double-faced tape. And what I did is I just wrapped it around this styrofoam like that. And lift it off. Let's see if I can get it off quick enough to not take up too much time. And it might take me 1 second, so I got the edge of it. So now you just pull this off. You've got the sticky around there. You put this inside here, and you're just gonna pull this up on the sticky. Double stick tape, like that. And that's gonna hold it. You stick it inside here. The weight is in the bottom with the other piece of styrofoam as I showed you. Push this down in there, and now we've got it covered. And like I said, you're really not gonna see that. Have you figured out this is the next day? Okay, well, I'm ready to use this now because I think it's kind of gonna be the centerpiece here. And what you need to do is that little, this little tower game where they had the little blocks in it. I'm gonna take, if you have this, fine. If you don't, I think it's gonna be okay. But I'm just gonna take and hot glue an E6000 this on the back. And then I'm gonna take, it's a little bit of a thicker shish kebab stick. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna make this into 2 pieces. I'm gonna cut one of them on one of the pieces off on an angle so that I can have the point. And I'm going to put the piece on the back, and then I'm gonna glue this on each side, and I might also add some E6000. And then this will be pushed down in here, and just for extra balance, I'm gonna have this on the back like an easel. So I've now got the 2021 inside the styrofoam, and I just picked out a fun little generic graduate. And so on the top of this, you could put the picture of who's graduating. Then I put the remainder of the prop signs around it. And now the next thing I did was this, I've already kind of done it, but I had this balloon holder and I pulled it apart. I'm not sure if I really want to use these stars, but I have them. And my main thing is that I wanted to get this out of it. This is actually a half of one from another project, but right now I did get this out and it's a full one, and I want to just show you. You just roll it open. I've already cut the edge where it's half, and now I can have 2 of these because actually one of them is kind of thick, so you can really stretch it and use 2 and kind of get your money's worth out of your Dollar Tree. Of course, it's $1. Let's try to stretch $1. And so now I'm going to stick these. I'm going to glue these on some more shish kebab sticks, and I'm going to find a place that I think that they would work like that, just kind of from behind. And then we'll see if we want to add the stars from the balloon holder or if we want to use the package of stars that were the styrofoam ones. At this point, I thought I was going to be putting some stars in there, styrofoam stars like I did the last one. And I also thought that I would be using the stars from the balloon holder. But you know what? I like the simplicity of this. It's very traditional. It's conservative. I like it. I like how simple it is. So the only other thing that I'm going to suggest that's added to this is I do like the tassel. Now, if you're on a budget, it is an extra $1. I don't think you have to have it. I took a black ribbon. I looped it around the little key holder. What I'd like to do is I'm going to go ahead with some, let me just kind of tuck it in there for now. Just going to add some glue and put it in here, kind of like that, off to the side. And then, if you remember, in the very beginning, I had these stars, starlights. So I'm going to stick one right here, and I'm going to stick one all the way up here. And when you turn the lights out, that's going to make that graduate the star. So between this one and this one, which one do you want to make? If you enjoyed this tutorial, please, down below, subscribe to me. Thank you, and happy Graduate Day. You should be proud.